Tonight on It's the Law, we're talking about civil rights. How does a judge or an attorney determine if a person's rights are violated in a criminal case? Jay Davis joins us to weigh in. All right, Jay, let's talk about the Sammy Davis Jr. case. It's a perfect example. So from a lawyer's perspective, what kind of misconduct or proof would Michael Moore needed to have to say, yes, his civil rights were violated?
The proof that they need for the civil rights, the Title 18 is what they're looking at, and that's something that's based on race.
Okay.
That's generally what it is, race or ethnicity, that type of thing. And they have to show that some person was treated differently than another person might be that had been of a different race or had been the normal citizenry.
Okay, now based on what you know from this particular case, I'm sure you've heard bits and pieces throughout the year, would you agree with his decision? Why or why not?
Well, the judge in this case, or as the investigation in this case actually sort of showed that it did not violate those. The problem is that it probably didn't. It probably wasn't necessarily because of race that this was done. What we believe, and we do a lot of programs on, is the abuse of power that goes on by police officers in general.
Okay.
Here you had the police officers that sort of surrounded this guy, where if you or I had shot somebody in a Kroger, we would have been first looked at as suspects and then later determined whether or not we were guilty or innocent. That's not what happens with a police officer.
Okay.
And if that had been a white victim or some other type of race, then more than likely the police officer still would have been protected, and more than likely they would have still surrounded him. So it probably wasn't because of the victim's race that this occurred. So from that perspective, it's probably right. But we still need to look at what kind of leniency we give to people who are in authority. That's what I believe. All
right. Well, interesting case here. Now, coming up on It's the Law Weekend Edition, we got a lot of good stuff. What's going on this weekend?
Last week we talked about Christmas, how it came about, how it was determined. This week we're talking about the Jewish perspective of Christianity and where it comes from and those roots. We're talking about a local Messianic rabbi.
That's a very interesting topic for It's the Law, huh?
Yeah. We look at the law. The law is derived from biblical roots, from different types of religions and that type of stuff. We look at different laws. Sometimes we look at secular law, and sometimes we branch out and look at how those things develop through different religious and that kind of background.
All right, Jay Davis, and that is Sunday at 6. And don't forget, if you've got a legal question for Jay, you can email us on itsthelaw@41nbc.com, and we will answer it right here on the news at 6.